Good morning, good morning. Hi. How are you? I had to go get the big book of decoupage to get started for today. How are you? Welcome to Two Girls Treasure. I hear someone coming in the door. Guests right at 9 a.m. We are continuing to work on our summer sessions here in the studio. We are making memory journals, travel journals, guest books from recycled paper. And yesterday I showed you the one I started on, the other one I started on, and then we put the cover on this, and then after we went off, I added the lace binding and got the front cover laid down very nicely. Good morning. And I was just working on the decoupage on the back. We're using our Rethunk Gunk to secure this. I was going to say solidify this, but we're just securing this lace to the outside edge, to the binding edge of the book. And today we will add some stamps and some decoupage. Let's get started because there's so much to do. And if you are interested, and I hope you are, in coming into the studio this week to participate in this particular studio session, then make your reservation and come on over. We're going to have a great time Friday evening from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. and then again Saturday morning from 10 till noon. Make sure you RSVP on our website. Just look for Family Fun Night, and I'll drop the link in the comments after we get done on this live this morning. Let me tip you down so you can see the work table. And there we go, straighten it all up. All right, first things first, I want to go ahead and finish securing this lace ribbon to the binding of this particular book. And all I'm doing is just adding a little bit to the lace itself. Yesterday evening when I did it, I put it on the paper, but I find that adding it to the lace itself really binds it down because now we have the moisture in the lace, and it doesn't ruin it. It does dry clear, so it's just fine. And then we can just lay that over and add a little bit to the surface as well. I'll add a little bit more right here. Let's get that last little bit that goes on. And we'll tuck this bottom edge in to the inside of the binding to secure the entire set of pages. And that way, this is all secure, no worries. I'm going to put a little bit more on here, just sort of mush it down. There we go. I'm just going to hold it taut for just a quick minute so that we can let this dry and move on to the next section. And there we go. You really cannot add too much gunk to your lace. It will dry and it will be secure and it'll be just fine. It'll be just fine. There we go. But I absolutely love this ribbon as the binding to this book. It just looks so pretty. So let's lay this to the side and we will let that dry. This one, I told you yesterday, I was not very well pleased with the fact that I didn't have my gunk with me and I used my glue to secure it, and you can see it. Achoo! Achoo! Excuse me. I don't really like that, so I have a solution for that. And I should have had my gunk with me, but I didn't. So we can fix this. I'll show you. We can fix this pretty easily. Let me show you how. I'm going to open the binder up. Now, it's not going to lay flat anymore because it's pretty sturdy. This binding is pretty sturdy now. So, what we'll do is, I have all of these paints. These are Rethunk Junk Paint by Laura, and a mix of water. About a 60-40 mix here. This one's empty, we used it all. But we have all these gorgeous colors, these blues, these rich reds and pinks. And all I have to do is shake these up, and this one, well, this is paint water, y'all. Paint water that I did not want to dispose of because it was just right. It was just the right tone, just the right amount of paint mixture. But what I want to do is use these paints, and I will edge right along the tip of the lace, and we're just going to paint stain this cover. Will it cover up the glue marks? I hope so. It's what I'm wishing for. But I want to create a beautiful coloration. Oh, I probably ought to turn that volume down, huh? There we go. There we go. We'll just turn that volume down a little bit. There we go. And let's take a brush. This one's stiff. I want a softer brush. Let's take a softer brush, and just like we did our stained glass window project, we're just going to brush the color in gently. I can use just straight paint, but straight paint will give me a little bit too much stiffness, if you will. I'd prefer for it not to be so stiff. I'd prefer for it to be a little more pliable, softer to the touch. And once it's dry, I'd really like to embellish with some imagery. So I'll crack this open and add a little bit of our violet shadow. I'm going to bring a little bit more in than the blue. Ooh, and it went into the blue. I think that's wonderful. That'll kind of, oh, that looks good. Let's just, I don't want too much of it because I want the blue there too, so I'll hold the edge up. And I'll have to put this in front of the fan to dry because that's a lot of moisture. And I'm just going to pull this down in. I think I'll pull this way down in because I can see with this lace and with these colors, I can rightly see using the brand new garden bouquet stamp set from Iron Orchid Designs in order to give this that garden Victorian Bridgerton even finish. Yes, I watched some episodes of Bridgerton. Did you? It's very interesting. Here we go. If you're just joining me, thank you for coming in today. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're in the studio at Two Girls Treasure, and we are working on our summer journals. We are making our own. I want to cap this with some pink because I love pink. I'm going to go ahead, let me throw something down underneath this because it is saturating, and it's going to. We're working with watered down paint, but I want to make sure I don't have so much of it coming through, and the paper really does a great job of stopping some of that. And I'm going to do the bind right here and then come around my purple a little bit at a time. Takes a minute for it to soak in. This is ruby red. Again, I keep this in my little squeezy bottles in the studio. It is basically a mix, 60% water, 40% paint. This is why you don't ever want to overwater your Rethunk Junk paint, because this is what will happen. Too much water, and it will have a watercolor effect. Of course, if you're going for a watercolor effect, then this is exactly what you want. Too much water, no worries. Grab a paper towel. Let's tamp some of it off. We don't want that much moisture on it. That was a lot. And I can use this to just go across the book binding. We're just staining the fabric, y'all. That's all we're doing, is staining the fabric with the watered down paint. And I'll get some green in there when we do our stamping. But I love that it just blends together, gives a whole other vibe to the cover now. And when we add our garden bouquet stamps to this, well, we're just going to have the most beautiful, lacy, Chantilly, Bridgerton, cottage, Victorian, you name it, the vibe is there. Let me go put this under the fan right here. I am not far away. There we go. I'm just going to prop this up. I know you can't see that, but I know you can hear it. Turn that fan on high and make sure that it is doing the things. I'm excited. We're back to the very beginning. My first and favorite one. We make sure all of these are closed. We're looking good. Move it out of the way. Don't knock it over. This is my first and my favorite one. This is my butterfly. I just got some red on my butterfly. I don't think that's a problem. I love my butterfly. And on the inside of this book, I've already stamped and I've put some lines in so that we can add our information, our short stories, our little blurbs, our inspiration, so that this summer's adventures don't get left behind. We don't want to leave any of this summer's adventures behind because they were so good. So good adventures. So I have some of our cardstock, y'all. And I thought what I would do is take our cardstock. I'm going to cut these in half on that fold line, so we have a nice finish, and we can add this. I want to give it another fold line, just about 1/4 of an inch, y'all. I don't want too much. I want a nice sharp edge on it. So run your thumbnails over it a couple of times, give it a nice sharp edge. Now, let's get our gunk back out, and we'll take our brush. I have a nice fluffy brush, Load it up pretty good. You don't want to oversaturate with the gunk on paper, but this, you want to make sure side to side, edge to edge, from that sharp line, from that fold line out, go ahead and run your gunk all the way across that fold line, and let's lay that just above the top line. Give your top line a little bit of room, and if you have any gunk that spilled over like that, because I laid it down in the wrong place, just wipe that clean, because you want to be able to fold that down and then fold it back up. That way, not only can we write our little love notes or our little memories right here, but we can fold this over, and if we have an image or a ticket stub, something that was meaningful from this adventure, we can put it right here on the outside edge, and then we can always fold this up to read what's written underneath. And we even have a little spot on the side if you want to put your dates or some other little doodad right here. It's very, very beautiful. Very simple, and you don't have to do it on them all. Matter of fact, we'll do the top one and we'll leave the other two. Or maybe not. We could do all three, you know, that looks really good. Let's do, let me grab one that's the right size. If we did all three, this would be way too long. It would hang out of the end of the book. And I don't think that's really what we want. We could trim it down, but we could leave that one open. Good morning, y'all. How are you? Good, good. Well, come on in. We're on our live tutorial. We're working on some memory journals. We are. All right, that one will work. Let's do our fold line on this one, and let's make that sharp edge on both sides of that page of cardstock. We want a nice, good, clean, sharp edge so that once we lay it down and decoupage it on, we have a good movement. So we'll go ahead and add, oopsie, we'll go ahead and we'll add the rethunk gunk completely across the top, and then we'll lay that in just above, and if you need to, move the other card out of the way so you don't glue one over the top of the other. Just above the top line, lay that cardstock in, smooth the edges so that they're secured, and there you go. And now we have two beautiful flip tops to put our memories in. But I still believe if we add the third, we could stack the third. It'll work. Let's trim that out. Well, come on in. Weed your way around. Come see what we're working on. We love to have company in the studio. Whether you're live on Facebook or whether you are joining us in person, we love it. Come on in. So we took some recycled paper and we made memory journals for the summer. And now I'm taking some cardstock and some decoupage medium, or rethunk gunk, and creating little flip tops so that we can put even more information about our adventures this summer in the book. So when we decoupage this in over that cut line, just enough to make it stick and stay. We are. We are. We'll lay that in, secure those edges, check our flip to make sure we don't have any extra. We don't want to glue our flip top down. Now we have 3 areas where we can add pictures or tickets or some little doodad, and then we can flip the top up and write our memories right there. We've done 3 different styles. That is a crochet doily. I'll show you what I started with. This is what it looked like when it came to us, and we even laundered it. The stains were not going to come out. There was an entire section of it that was already tattered. And rather than throwing pieces like this away, we find another way to use them, because that's a lot of stitches.
So you used to pre-dye it?
We did. I cut it out because it looks like a butterfly, and then mixed some of our decoupage medium, which is called Rethunk Gunk, a little bit of paint, and I pushed it down inside a cup, waited till it had absorbed a lot of the color, took it out, squeezed it in a paper towel, and then laid it down right where I wanted it, smoothed it out. And it's nice and stiff now. It's not going anywhere though.
No.
And I took some baling twine because I hate it, but I love it. And made the binding for the book so all the pages are secure.
That'll work.
That makes a great little summer project.
Yes, it
And perfect guest book, perfect baby book or wedding album. That one, I love the way this looks. I love a Victorian look.
I like your edging.
It's some awesome lace that I found at one of the craft stores on clearance, no less, and that is always a good price. So we're gonna leave these be. We're gonna let the cardstock dry. We have more guests today, so we're gonna go visit and say hello and see who we can help, and I will share more pictures with you. That went to the floor. I'll share more pictures with you later this afternoon. By the way, in case you missed the video, here is our completed bottle. This is completely reworked, and I even used some beautiful little Italian music with the video. If you didn't catch it, go over and join our TikTok, our Instagram, our Pinterest. Make sure you're on our Facebook, our YouTube, the whole 9, where you can always see the tutorials for all of these different projects and the end results. Thanks for being here with me this morning. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're in the studio at Two Girls Treasure, where you can always come hang out and visit with us and watch what we're working on. If you want to make your own, be here Friday evening, 5:30 to 7:30, Saturday morning, 10 to 12, and we'll just do our own studio sessions with you, and you can create your own memory journal, travel log, guest book, baby book, wedding album. You call it whatever you want. I call it not muddying up the landfill any more than we have to. Thanks for being here. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Don't forget, this entire week is our annual warehouse sale. Save 20% off store-wide today. Not Iron Orchid Designs and not Rethunk Junk, but everything else in the store. Come on over and see us. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and we'll do some more. Bye, y'all.